Hi, I'm John Hope, and I've got groundbreaking news. But seriously, running for Senate is no laughing matter. I'm here to talk about the issues.
We need a man in the Senate who is trustworthy, and there is nothing more trustworthy, nay, more American, than the upper lip soup stainer of the Midwestern town.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the core issues facing us as Americans today is the safety of our neighborhoods. We need to protect our children. We need to sweep the streets of crime.
Another pressing issue defiling our streets today is the issue of narcotics. Remember, children, drugs are bad.
I'm just gonna...
I believe in giving back to our community, specifically our seniors.
Oh, thank you, John.
You're welcome, senior.
I believe that for safety's sake, our citizens should be allowed to carry concealed weapons. I believe children should be allowed to pray publicly in schools. Also, if someone has died, there should be a moment of silence held in school. Well, hello, Mr. Hoban.
Good morning, John. Also, I intend to increase teachers' compensation by $3,500.
Well, Johns, thank you for joining me for this fireside chat.
No problem, John. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for inviting me, John. Well, let's see what our voters want to hear about. About supporting limiting the number of terms for North Dakota governors, limiting the number of terms for North Dakota state senators, limiting corporation contributions to state candidates, requiring full and timely disclosure for campaign finance, imposing spending time limits on state-level political campaigns, recognize civil unions between same-sex couples, and restrict marriage to a union only between a man and a woman, and abortions, should they be legal or not?
Abortion. Now, there's a hot-button topic in today's society.
Well, I've always felt abortion something that should not be legal except in rare cases.
How so, John?
Well, I think that in cases of rape or incest, an abortion should be legal, as the woman's not at fault for rape.
I do agree with that, John.
What are your opinions on this, John?
I've got to say, John, that's a good question, John. I'm glad that we live in a country where questions like that can be asked. And allow me to give you my answer to such a great question. I feel that abortion should be allowed if it puts the mother's life at risk, because then the child will grow up without a mother.
That's an excellent point.
But if a child does grow up without a mother, in the case of same-sex marriage, how do you feel on that, John?
I feel that marriage is meant to be a union between a man and a woman.
That is my stance as Hoban.
So you would say that we would restrict the marriage to a union between a man and a woman?
Yes, I would say same-sex marriage should not be allowed.
Out of the question.
You mentioned the topic of limiting the terms of our state senators, representatives.
That I did. That I did.
I feel that we should not limit their terms, because if someone is doing a phenomenal job as a senator or representative, why would we want them to stop?
The ain't broke, don't fix it concept.
Yes. Like, we're re-electing them. If we don't want them back, we just don't re-elect them. It's a simple process.
I agree with that fully, John. And same thing goes with senators, governors, and senators.
Yes. Like, if the voters want them back, we can have them back. We don't need to use the law to limit their terms.
That is very true. Now, what about supporting the limiting of corporate contributions to state candidates?
I have to say that in that I feel that the corporate contributions should not be limited due to the fact that if a company is backing any state members that are running for any position, that just means that they're not using taxpayer money. They're just using money from big businesses. And then I think that takes off the pressure off of the voters, knowing that the people that they are trying to vote for, it's not going to cost them.
That is an excellent point. Do you have any other opinion on this, John?
John has definitely said it all.
Wow.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
But, do we are we in support of imposing spending limits on the state level political campaigns?
Well, I guess in the sense that when it gets to a ridiculous amount, but overall, I've got to say no.
No would be a good answer. I think a political campaigner should be able to spend what he needs in order to get his message across.
No, indeed. No, indeed. I agree with you fully, Johns.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Well,
Well,
it seems we have all ended here. Thank you all for coming to this fireside chat.
it's been a pleasant fireside chat.
Indeed. A very
Thanks for,
pleasant
thanks for
fireside.
coming, John.
Thank you, John, for inviting me.
Thanks,
Thank you,
John.
John. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear
We are John Hoban, and we approve this message.